Alright, in this video we're going to do a very quick speed look at doing all the website functionality as quick as possible for those of you who don't need an explanation and just need a quick refresher. So we're going to make a new library. Wait for that to load here. The name of it's just going to be test for our purposes. Don't display it on the quick launch. Don't do any of that. Create it. We're also going to create, under more options, our custom list. It's going to be purpose test. Create that. And for this, we're just going to do one more, and that's custom list document type, test, create there. Now we can add the items. We always have to add all. We can also add something else. This is just testing. That was our document types. We'll do the same for purpose. One for all. And something like testing again. All right, then we can go back to our library and set up the areas for it. Go to library, library settings, create column. First one is that control column. We click choice, required. The only choice is all. It's set as a radio button, no fill-in options, all. That's good. Now we make a lookup column for our purpose and our document type. Lookup, requires value. We're going to go to the purpose test list. With the title. Everything else is default. We click OK. Repeat for document type. Yeah, well, no space there. Lookup required. We're going to do document type test. Going to do title. Keep the default. Click OK. This library is ready. We're just going to add some test documentation to it. Load multiple files, browser files. Okay. I'm going to include this control text. Click open. Get them all in here. This is just for testing purposes, but we're going to step into library, into datasheet view. We're going to make the purpose all for the control file. And the document type all. And this doesn't mean much with how little I put in, but we're also going to put random values for the purpose and the document type. This library is done, so now we just need to go and make, let's make an all page first. So site pages, add new page, test -all. Oh, that's my code for making these all pages. First things first, we set the text layout to 3 columns with header and footer. Save and close that. We would open this in SharePoint Designer. I have it open down here, and I just need to refresh with it so that the program syncs up with the server. And we're going to go to site pages, test-all, edit file, wait for it to load, then we're going to go into design, and here we can start making that all page. So add in our title, go down here, and we're going to insert a view of our test library. There we go. And we only have 2 this time, but we're also going to insert our empty data view. This is the one that will be purpose. However, we of course still take from the test library. I'm going to drag this data source detail up, unclick all of these highlighted values, and we're going to search for purpose dot. It's right there. Going to insert selected fields as multiple item view. Change the paging to display all items. The filter, we're going to add XSLT filtering and click edit. I have a sticky note here for the exact code we want to have. This will be linked below. Instead of year, we're going to put purpose dot because that's our column we're using. Same thing here, change it in both places. Click OK, and we'll notice that those are the only two things up. We can click on this tag here and click backspace to get rid of that unneeded heading. Click on the whole web part, click to highlight it. We're going to find this title page right here, and we are going to write our own title, purpose. Scroll over, we're going to scroll down, and we're going to look at the select statement, select at purpose. We want this to read substring hyphen after open bracket to the end of that period, comma, apostrophe, number sign, apostrophe, close bracket. And when we go back, this is our finished look at the empty view. We're going to quickly go through and do the same thing for our document type. Select the data source, test, OK. Unclick all of these. Only click document type dot, multiple item view, paging all, filter, XSLT, edit, Control V. Instead of year, of course we put document type with the dot still, because this is us pulling in the value as opposed to the link to the lookup. Click that and that. Get rid of this. Go to the code view, highlight that. The title is test. We want it to be document type. Go find the select document type line. It's right here. Substring hyphen after open bracket, comma, apostrophe, number sign, apostrophe, close bracket, and go back here. This is the skeleton of everything. Now we just need to add our connections. On purpose, we add connection, Sandro data to, connect to a web part, document type, get parameters from. We're going to make our own parameter, purpose par, and we're going to give it the purpose value. Indicate current selection using purpose. Finish that up. We need to make a connection to each web part. We did document type, now we need to do test. Same deal, get parameters from. Make your own parameter and make sure that it's codified so you know where it is later. Make purpose, click next. You can just navigate as purpose and finish. Now we move over to document type, add the connection sender of data to. We don't need purpose anymore, we need test. Get parameters from. We're going to add our doc type parameter. Click OK. Go up here. Now we're going to assign document type to it, and same as with purpose, we're going to indicate using doc type. Next, and finish. All the connections are set up. Now we just need to do filters. Purpose doesn't need to be filtered. Document type needs to be filtered by purpose. So we add in a line for purpose, a line for control, and a line for document type. Purpose needs to equal purpose par. Control needs to equal purpose par. Document type needs to equal all. And because this is the last grouping, everything is OR, and we're going to group purpose and control. Click both of them, click group, OK. Document type is filtered. This page needs to be filtered by both areas. So we're going to go ahead and add purpose, control, there's our first group, document type, control, there's our second. This doesn't need to filter in all, but it does need to filter that title. Filter title is not equal to, our code is codex 1337, and we have it ANDed down here. Purpose matches purpose par, control matches purpose par, document type, doc type par, control after document type is doc type par as well. We're going to do or and for the first set, or and for the second set, because we want this to always happen, and for there as well. Click purpose and control and group, document type, control and group, and that is all we need for filtration. This all documents page is done now. It's okay if it says it may not be saved. It's just the way SharePoint works here. I'm going to preview it quickly to make sure everything works. SharePoint's just being finicky here. Okay. All right, and there we have everything showing. Testing or so we didn't have all showing there. And I guess it doesn't mean a lot, but you can see when I click off of all that it's not there. Again, we need to make sure this control has the right title. Edit properties, code X1337 that we agreed upon earlier. Save. Now that will also exit. So the all documents view is done. Now we just need to go make the dashboard view. We'll go up to site pages, add a new page. Test dashboard is my code. Create. We're going to change the text layout to 3 columns. Add in the titles, test documents, test documents, all relevant documents. Leave some space, checked out to me, leave some space, last modified by me, space for a library. I'm going to go back to this middle one here and insert a web part. It is our test library. Where is that? There it is. Add that in there. I'm going to do the same thing under checked out to me and last modified by me. There we go. All right. Save and close out of this. And we're going to change the view on each of these. Click on one, click library, and modify view. I'm going to keep all the default columns in this grouped view. I'm not going to sort. I am going to filter only so that title is not equal to code X1337. Make sure that's ANDed with any other filters you have. Click on group by. It's customary to group by your top filter and keep it in ascending order. Click OK. This is pretty much done. We're going to go over to the checked out to me and we're going to modify its view. I don't need to know modified or modified by because I created it. Sorting we don't need. Filtration we need in 2 areas. Checked out to is equal to bracket me closing bracket, and of course title is not equal to code X1337. That's good on the off chance that you did check out that control and you don't want it to show up. Same deal down here. We're going to modify the view, last modified by me. Perhaps you want modified in but not modified by because it's already you. We're going to make the filter modified by is equal to bracket me closing bracket, and title is not equal to code X1337. We don't want that to show up either. So now we got everything checked out to me, everything that was last modified by me. Just to make sure this works, I'm going to check these in. no comment. So yes, there's everything modified by me, everything checked out to me. Now we're going to edit these libraries to get rid of their titles and their add document buttons as needed. Here we need the toolbar, but we're going to set the Chrome type to none, so we hide that title. X that out. In test 2, which is the checked out to me view, we also don't need the add to documents, so we're going to choose no toolbar for toolbar type, and we're going to choose none for the Chrome type. Click apply. Same deal with the last modified by me. Arrow, edit web part, no toolbar, and Chrome type is set to none. This is of course because it would be weird to have the ability to add to your last modified if it's not last modified by you. And that is our dashboard for test. Now we're just going to go through an example of making the view that only shows one type of document, because there is only one type of document for testing or testing or. We're going to do a special kind of view. Going to go to create view, standard view. We're just going to do one that doesn't show the modified and modified by. Oh, its view name is going to be test-view. Doesn't show that. It also shows created by, and it sorts by, let's say, the name, and it sorts it in alphabetical order. Filter, I just want it to not show that control file. Codex 1337, and that's all I need for that view. There we go. So it shows it 2, 3, 4 all the way through 8. That is our regular view. Now we're going to augment this quick launch so that it makes more sense for our purposes. We would go to edit in SharePoint Designer, go to our master pages, and then we would copy v4 master into v4 copy master. Make sure that this is set as your default so that you see your tests. Edit file, and we are here now. Do a quick search for v4 quick launch. Find next. We're going to go over here, and instead of static display levels 2, we're going to use 1. And over here, instead of dynamic display levels 0, we're going to use dynamic display levels 1. We're going to do two things in one step here. We're going to add the code, which I will link under the video, which makes a menu item white. That's what comes out of the quick launch. And we're also going to add the code that gets rid of the recently modified that would usually show up on your site pages. If you do like to see what you've recently modified, it's a better practice to make a view of that page that shows the ones that were last modified. That's all good to go. If we go here, we can refresh and see that everything has been put in its proper place. If we want to add to this, here is that view that I was using. I'm going to copy the URL. Under Site Actions, go to Site Settings, Quick Launch, and I'm going to add this to the list heading because I want to. I'm going to put in mine. The description is going to be testing. This is whatever shows up over here. And we are, of course, going to choose list as our heading. Click OK. And now, if I go over here, testing is available, and it goes right back to my view. Now, unless I'm missing everything, we got all documents view, dashboard view, create your own view, change the quick launch, get rid of the recently modified, and that should be it. This is pretty much all you need to do to get this template off the ground. As you notice there, it took me probably 10 minutes, and with a little bit of practice, it'll hopefully make it that easy for us to move this to other business areas as needed.